morning, everybody. Great to see you. I'm Rita Hickman, body-mind expert, shiatsu massage therapist, and I help women who are in toxic and narcissistic relationships really get their life sorted out. Whether it's trying to get divorced in the middle of a divorce, you trying to separate, trying to cope because you can't leave, dealing with somebody when you realize they're a narcissist 20, 30 years into the relationship, what you should do, all of that. And the way I'm able to work with all of that is because I focus on the body-mind. I focus on the things that you do that help you evolve to a higher level of beingness, to where you're balanced and you work through your issues and that you get the things that you need to feel good and healthy, and you break out of that crazy cycle of reaction and pain and trauma and all of that jazz. So today's topic is, can being nice to a narcissist negatively affect your health? So we're going to start with what I mean by nice. I was raised to be a nice woman. Actually, I was raised to be a nice girl. Nobody wanted me to be a woman because that was too threatening. So instead, I was raised to be a nice girl. One who, no matter what was said, no matter how it handled, what the situation, that my job was to keep my mouth shut and make things run smoother and make things run easier. So we were taught that that's what a nice person, that's what a nice woman does, that our whole focus needs to be, out there on helping make the world a better place. Now that's awesome. Wouldn't it be great if we were all like that? I just saw this commercial recently about, wouldn't it be great if we all treated each other with kindness and compassion and understanding and flexibility? But guess what? That's not actually the bigger idea, the bigger concept of love and kindness and compassion. We've traded, it's like how they used to say, people confuse lust with love. People confuse nice with compassion. So nice is when you're doing things that are affecting you in a negative way with some sort of expectation that they will be nice back, or we're sacrificing or suffering or giving more than we want to give in order to control or influence or affect a situation. So in reality, and I had this conversation last night with someone. It was about how they allowed themselves to continue to be beat up by a narcissist because they needed to let them know that it wasn't fair, that they shouldn't be able to get away with it. But here's the deal. When we actively try to change somebody by being nice, by affecting ourselves, by sacrificing, by suffering, by being a martyr, it's actually not compassionate. Because what we're doing is we're hurting ourselves, first of all, because we're taking an emotion of anger or irritation or frustration or conflict, and we are controlling it and shoving it down and usually suppressing it and working with it that way in order to be nice. How many women do you know? And I'm sure you know dozens, and I know hundreds, if not thousands, of women who have sacrificed themselves to be nice, even when they were angry, even when they were hurt, even when they were frustrated. Being compassionate is about looking at somebody and realizing that they have flaws and they have issues and they have things that they're struggling with, and helping them evolve to a better version of themselves, not by suffering, but by role modeling, by saying, this is how you handle your emotions. You handle your emotions by setting boundaries and leaving and not letting someone else victimize you. You handle conflict by setting good boundaries, doing things which are healthy for you, that keep you in a balanced place, and not putting yourself into a position that causes more pain or more drama for you. Because when that happens, it's very hard on your body. Being in that constant fight or flight is really hard on you. People who have more narcissistic tendencies, usually it's because they feel so overwhelmed and they've got no skills on how to deal with their emotions. They think there's no way to handle it. They have to keep control over everything. They have to keep people minimized and down and under their thumb, because it's this idea of wanting to have control and feel safe. And for the victims, which, you, me, lots of other women, we were taught, well, how do you handle when people aren't good to you? You're nice to them. You treat them better. But our version, and I agree with that actually, but our version of treating people better is skewed. We think treating people better means that we personally need to sacrifice more. We personally need to suffer more. We need to stand there and let them know and make them change. When in reality, that's not going to work. Because when someone gets pushback for their attitude or their energy, they dig in their heels. They become more determined that they are right and you are wrong. The kindest thing that you can do is to take care of yourself. The most compassionate thing that you can do is to make sure that you stay as healthy and balanced and happy as you can, so that you never feel that when you're engaging with a narcissist on any level, that you don't feel as if you're being hijacked by your own issues and your wounds. You're not being nice. You're not pretending. You're not sacrificing and suffering because that's what you were told to do. That's not in anybody's best interests. You being unhappy, you being miserable, you being sick because of all the suppressed emotions that turn into fibro and rheumatoid and headaches and dizziness and arthritis and relationships that aren't well in the workplace and lack of friends and queasiness and a poor digestive system. That's what suppressing our emotions and sacrificing and martyring ourselves, that's what it does. It wears us down and exhausts us. It's not even the narcissist that exhausts us. It's the fact that we are being too nice from the classical interpretation of what nice looks like, which means to be a martyr. Especially if you come from a Catholic tradition, which I totally do. It's all about guilt and sacrifice and sin and sainthood and martyrdom and, all that stuff. That's not the way you need to go. If you want to truly be compassionate, you have to be the best version of yourself that you can be, which means that you have to focus on what you need to do that, which means that you need to heal. You need to make sure your body's taken care of. You need to make sure that you're doing things that keep your emotions balanced, that keep you feeling mentally balanced and stable and grounded. Because you really can't help anybody by being nice, by suffering. That doesn't help anybody. I don't care what they say. What really helps people is when you guide them to a new way of being. When you teach people, this is how you find peace. This is how you find balance. This is how you navigate the tough things in life. This is how you communicate. This is how you have empathy. This is how you have self-respect. This is how you set boundaries. You have got to be the person that's the leader now. The leader that you were always meant to be, which is why you have a narcissist in your life, because you've chosen on some level to have them in your life, and it's pushing you to be a better version of yourself instead of someone who feels victimized or sick or spiraling down because of all the anger and hurt and frustration in the world. The most compassionate thing that you can do for somebody else is to get your shit together, is to get in a good space for yourself. And if that means for the time being, the narcissist is on their own, that you're setting boundaries, that you're saying this is how I deserve to be treated, and this is how I'm going to handle it because you are incapable of being, of giving me what I need, that's the compassionate thing to do. Because when you role model what it's like to live a healthy life, mentally, emotionally, physically, when you role model what it's like to respect yourself, when you role model how we stay in balance, the people around us see that and they start to learn from the things that we do. So whether you're in a relationship with a narcissist or not, whether you're trying to get away from them, still the people around you are learning from you about how to live a happy and a healthy and a peaceful and a balanced life. So you need to figure it out. If you truly have compassion, you need to figure out what keeps us at the highest level of beingness that we can be, and what drags us down and makes us sick and destroys us. And sacrifice and suffering will most surely destroy you and be a bad role model, and continue to let the narcissist know or believe that it's perfectly okay and that they're helpless and this is just how you handle conflict. When in reality, when you start to respect yourself, by a side effect, and you have to give it time, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but you have a much better shot of changing the world when you heal yourself. With help, with support, with love. There's like 5 pillars that I like to help women work on and work through. You know, I use Asian medicine to do it because it's such an elegant, clean, way to look at the world, with how Asian medicine is put together. So there are things that you can do, very specific strategies, very specific exercises, very specific thoughts and feelings and emotions that help you move into the greatest version of you that you can be. So the greatest version of you is not being nice. It's not being mean either, but it's being in balance. It's learning how to be in balance, how to be happy, irregardless of the situation around you. And by doing that, the people around you will start to shift and change as well, as a side effect. Not because you're making them, not because you're putting it in their face, not because you're charging at them, not because you're pointing fingers, not because you're even getting angry. Although anger helps sometimes when you need to respect yourself, that's for sure. But not because you're being hijacked by your emotions or wounded or victimized over and over and over by the narcissist. It's because you've learned not how to be stoic and strong, but you've learned how to be soft and understanding for yourself and for them. And that's a side effect too. That's a side effect of taking care of yourself. When you get the things that you need, then you aren't in such a depleted place. You give from the overflow. You're able to give from a place of balance and not from a place of reaction. You're doing great already, so don't worry about it. You're watching this. This will help, change your thinking, help keep you on a good path, because we certainly can't do it alone. But I want you to know, being nice or being more nice or being more and more and more nice isn't the answer. The answer is to be compassionate, not by giving more of yourself, but by recognizing that the only way you're going to change the world is by being the best version of yourself you can be, okay? So if you feel stuck and you need help with this, if you're dealing with struggles, going through the divorce of a narcissist, or looking for how you're going to get out, or figuring out how the hell am I going to live through this for the next 10, 20 years if you want to, for we all have reasons why we do the things that we do, and none of them are wrong. They're your reasons, so they're valid. But if you're struggling with any of these things, I do one-on-one coaching. We'll do a strategy call, come up with a game plan to help get you to where you want to be, to help you become that person you've always dreamed of being, which is someone who, no matter what happens, you've got the tools, you've got the skills, you've got the balance, you've got the habits, you've got the support that keep you in a place of love and kindness, which is where really is what will save the world. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Happy Wednesday. I have a super busy day ahead of me, and I think I'll have a wonderful day. And I'll look for you tomorrow morning. I'll talk to you later.